from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Coming to you from the National News Studio, welcome to the news. Good evening. My name is Clifford Richards.
And a very good evening to you indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
The Sri Lanka Air Force purchases 2 Y-12 aircraft. Plantation community to be given the right of a postal address, a privilege they have been deprived of for 200 years. The Education Minister says an educational system of international standard is being implemented. Minister Bandula Gunawardena orders officials to provide recommendations for the registration of high-capacity motorcycles within 2 weeks. Archaeological items handed over to Sri Lanka by the Netherlands are on public display. A digital birth certificate has been released. Injured elephant Agbo signals danger. Mijavum enters the South Indian coastal belt.
We're moving on to the top story, and Mijavum cyclone, which is causing havoc in India and in the western and central Bay of Bengal Sea area, is now reported to be in the area of the coast of South Andhra Pradesh.
The Department of Meteorology says as a result, a decline in rainy weather condition could be expected. However, the Department of Meteorology forecasts that several rounds of showers may occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, southern, northwestern and northern provinces tonight as well. Northern areas and other areas, localized thundershowers could prevail. A foggy condition could be witnessed in the morning hours in the western Sabaragamuwa, central, southern and Uva provinces. Director General of the Department of Meteorology, Atula Karunaratna, said that the strength and the impact of cyclone will get weak as it reaches the shores of India, and heads expected to be low. Showers and thundershowers are expected in the afternoon and evening hours in the upcoming days.
Well, the Tamil Nadu government has claimed that 80% of the power supply and also 70% of the mobile networks have already been restored in Chennai amid the heavy rains caused by cyclone Michao. The 29 National Disaster Response Force teams have been deployed in the Andhra Pradesh and also Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Puducherry to undertake relief and rescue operations in the wake of the severe cyclonic storm Michao. The Indian Meteorological Department says that the landfall process of the cyclone Michang is completed. Michang wreaked havoc in the southern states of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. It also took the lives of 12 people in the southern city of Chennai. Speaking about the cyclone Michang, scientists say that the storm is likely to weaken in the next few hours. The severe cyclonic storm made landfall earlier in the day of the Andhra Pradesh coast. Indian authorities say 12 people have been killed in severe weather conditions. Well, a Chinese manufactured 2 aircraft of the Y-12 type were landed on the Ratmalana Air Force camp, that's today.
Yes, and the new aircraft will boost the Sri Lanka Air Force's transport potential. The new additions to the number 8 light transport aircraft fleet have been purchased from China for use mainly in passenger and cargo transportation. During the period of the humanitarian operation, such aircraft were used in transportation of soldiers and goods. These could also be used for search and rescue operations, training of paratroopers, and also for military exercises. The Y-12 planes could also be used as air ambulances. These aircraft may also be embarked on emergency foreign travel as well. The two Y-12 crafts have been added to the air strength of the SLAF as one stage in the planned program of the current Commander-in-Chief of the Air Force, Air Marshal Udeni Rajapaksa, to enhance the capabilities of the Air Force. Among those who have graced the event to receive the new aircraft included State Minister of Defence Pramita Bandaru Tennakon, Senior Presidential Advisor on National Security and Chief of Presidential Staff Sagara Ratnayaka, Secretary to the Ministry of Defence, Retired General Kamal Gunaratna, Chief of Defence Staff Shavendra Silva, Navy Commander Vice Admiral Priyantha Pereira and Chinese Ambassador in Sri Lanka Zi Shenghong.
State Minister Ranjit Simalapatia says that the program to provide a postal address to the plantation community people has been expedited. The State Minister says the aim of the government is to hand over equal rights as citizens to the people of the plantation sector. State Minister Ranjit Simalapatia says that the workers in the estate sector do not have an initial address to them even after 200 years had passed. The main objective of this initiative is to combine efforts of other departments with the Postal Department to create private postal addresses for the estate sector workers. With the agreement of the Supreme Court in ensuring the rights of the estate workers, the government initiative will be implemented very soon, he says. Well, the National Digital Birth Certificate was released today at a ceremony held by State Minister of Home Affairs Ashoka Priyantha at the Kaltara District Secretariat. Well, it was released under the e-population documentation program. The State Minister says on this occasion that the digital technology birth certificate conforms to international standards and the number of national birth certificate becomes the national identity card number as well.
Minister of Education Susir Premajanta says that an education system of international standards to develop skills is presently being implemented. The minister has made these remarks participating in the debate on the third reading of the budget. Votes on the Ministry of Education were taken up for discussion in today's parliamentary proceedings. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa said that real prosperity is unable to reach for a country engaged in a journey with island mentality and border restrictions. He added that time has come to give due prominence to languages including Sinhala, at the same time to have an English language-centered educational system. Minister of Education Susir Premajanta said that he has started Grade 1 oral English activity based by training 13,800 teachers. He further said that the three main pillars of education in Sri Lanka since the year 1946 has been knowledge, skills and attitudes. He added that the present situation is that there is adequate knowledge and the attitudes are not so bad, but the problem is with skills. He further said that a reformed policy framework has been presented to create a change in education. Most steps have to be taken from time to time. The minister added that in future they would be compelled to revise several acts. The pilot project has got underway with full implementation expected in the year 2025. Minister Susir Premajanta further said, Year 5 scholarship is an extreme burden on students. A classroom-based evaluation system will be set up and competition in the examination will be reduced. The exams will be simplified. The minister also said the O-level examination will be advanced by 1 year. Instead of grade 11, there will be grade 10. This will reduce overage of students by 1 year. The A-level examination will also be reformed accordingly, making it possible to sit for the exam at the age of 17 years. The students would also be able to go to the universities before reaching the age of 18 years. They would be able to complete university education at the age of 21 years. The pilot project would be able to go forward speedily with the development-oriented proposals of all politicians. Parliamentarian S.B. Dissanayake said that 99% of the teachers who had taken sabbatical leave did not leave the shores of the country. 80 teachers received such leave from Colombo, 41 from Peradeniya, 35 from Javadnapura, 54 from Kalaniya, 17 from Open University and 81 from Ruhuna. He added that instead of leaving abroad, they were engaged in numerous activities in the country. He has further stated that the government will strengthen state universities as well as private universities. Parliamentarian Harini Amarasuriya said that the pressure being unleashed on higher education breached social equality and justice. Commenting on the university administration, the parliamentarian has pointed out how such institutions could be managed by selling degrees. The postgraduate institutions are being managed entirely on money, but many educational institutions are finding it difficult even to pay the salaries of employees. State Minister of Higher Education Dr. Suren Raghavan said that there are 19 postgraduate institutions and all of them are functioning. He further said that he acknowledges the fact the standardization tests are necessary for admission and discharging from postgraduate institutes. Universities have been permitted to conduct such tests in order to rectify the shortcomings in the system. A national standardization is necessary even under the Standardization Act. The State Minister further said that a national dialogue is necessary regarding how to present awards for MAs, MPhil and PhD.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena has ordered the Ministry of Transport and also the officials of the institutions connected to the ministry to hand over the necessary recommendations for the registering of motor vehicles of high capacity. It has been revealed that Sri Lankan citizens throughout the island are in possession of around 5,000 such high capacity motorcycles imported to the country during different periods of time. Well, owners of such motorcycles have requested permission for registration of their vehicles after payment of government-declared charges subjected to government conditions and taxes. The minister has also instructed the officials to prepare final report following the amendments to the relevant legislation under the existing legal conditions. The relevant orders have been delivered at a discussion at the Ministry of Transport, Highways and Mass Media.
Six archaeological artifacts handed over to Sri Lanka by the Netherlands recently were opened for public display at the National Museum today. A sword with a cover made of gold stolen during a raid of the Kandy Castle by the Dutch in the year 1765. Another sword with a cover made out of silver, a golden knife, 2 big guns and an artillery gun believed to have been owned by the Leuke Disava are on display. The looted items were brought to the Netherlands by the Dutch East India Trading Company and were being exhibited at the Rijks Museum. Netherlands has decided to return the treasures to Sri Lanka as an outcome of a research conducted in 2017. Minister Vidura Vikramanayake and Chief of Presidential Staff Sagala Ratnayake have presided over the inauguration of the exhibition of the new artifacts. A special commemoration stamp has also been issued. Netherlands Ambassador in Sri Lanka Bonnie Hobash, State Minister Shantha Bandara and Director General of the Department of National Museums Sajani Kasturi Arachi were also present at the occasion. In the meantime, news on the present condition of the injured Agbo elephant from Thirappane is not at all good.
Agbo was an unfortunate victim of a trapped gun, and the national television has been highlighting the plight of the elephant since the day it met with the accident. Rupavahini had intervened when the treatments were delayed, when the methods of treatment were not changed as well. Some wildlife officials were not pleased over the pointing of these shortcomings. However, the aim was to cure the desperate beast, and also the elephant appears to be in a stable condition, yet it has become a problem for the residents in Thirappane. Earlier, Agbo was receiving delicious fruit and pumpkin and also paddy. However, it is now without such treatment, residents say. As a result, the elephant appears to be in a very bad mood these days. Some villagers are calling to send the beast to another part of its habitat in Mahakandarawa. However, the wildlife officials do not like this idea because the elephant is unconscious state, has a good chance of getting into the water, and such a state could cause dangerous consequences. However, an immediate solution is needed. Well, we are now going to take a short break and we'll be back with more local stories shortly. Welcome back, and we are moving on to more local stories. Well, Senior Presidential Advisor on National Security and also the Chief of Presidential Staff, Sagar Ratnayaka, has instructed the relevant heads of institutions to hand over to the President the reports on the progress of the future planning of the Beara Lake Development Project prior to the 15th of this month.
The instructions have been given at a discussion on the progress evaluation of the project at the President's office yesterday. Senior Presidential Advisor Sagar Ratnayaka has also informed the relevant officials to hand over to the President a report on the Colombo City Beautification Plan in its present progress. Attention has been focused at the talks to develop with the cooperation of the private sector as well as the already identified blocks of land in this connection. The incidence of accumulation of feces into the Beara Lake as well as on the current progress of the program to minimize the percentage of bacteria and algae have also been discussed. The central bus stand, which is located in 3 places, is to be shifted to a location next to the Colombo Fort Railway Station. The existing land of the bus stand is to be developed with the private sector for commercial purposes. Other issues have been discussed, including removal of trees in the city which poses a security threat and replanting with suitable varieties. It has also been pointed out on the need to identify abandoned buildings that are covered with weeds and to prepare a proper program for their maintenance. Preparation of a regularization plan on vehicle transport, boarding of passengers into vehicles, installation of a proper project for the disposal of rainwater were other issues that had come under discussion. The meeting has also focused attention to minimize traffic congestion in the Colombo city during the upcoming Christmas season through a joint program of the Sri Lanka Police, the Colombo Municipal Council and the Traders Association. Many officials representing the relevant sectors have participated in the discussion.
And we are now moving on to more local items in brief. The Court of Appeal has ordered to convene hearings on the petition filed against the Cricket Interim Administration Committee on the 13th of this month. When the petition was taken up for examination today, the counsel appearing on behalf of the Sports Minister Harin Fernando said that more time is needed for his client to express his position regarding the Gazette notification pertaining to the setting up of a Cricket Interim Administration Committee. Attorney appearing on behalf of Harin Fernando has also pledged the judiciary that further action will not be taken regarding the Gazette notification until the next date of hearing, that's on the 13th. A group of new attorneys at law was sworn in at the Supreme Court complex in Colombo today. 720 attorneys of law are scheduled to take oaths within this week, and about 180 of them are new lawyers. Well, an ancient monastery complex has been unearthed, and also the Janavasa 10 area in Buttala, that's the area.
It has been pointed out that the attention of the Department of Archaeology should be focused on the new discovery. The monastery complex is spread in an extent of several acres on a huge boulder. A stone inscription says the institutions belong to the era of King Walagamba. Dilapidated stupas made out of stone, large ponds are among the creations in an extremely silent and enchanting environment. However, it was a matter of regret to find treasure hunters destroying these historical monuments.
Well, the cremation of the late chief incumbent of the historic Situlpau Rajamaha Vihara, the Venerable Maturama Hemaratana Thera, was conducted with full state honours at the premises of the Yatagala Rajamaha Vihara this evening. The Venerable Thera was 83 3 years old at the time of the passing away, and he held the leadership of 8 viharas, including the Yatagala Rajamahawihara and the Situlpavu Rajamahawihara. The Venerable Thera was also the chief Sanganayaka of the Malwatu Vihara sector in southern Lanka. A message of condolence by the President was read by parliamentarian Vajra Abhivardhana at the funeral ceremony. Minister Manu Shinanakkara presented the condolence message of the Prime Minister. The message of the opposition leader was read by parliamentarian Gayantha Karunatilaka. The Mahasangha and large numbers of people's representatives, including former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, have attended the funeral ceremony.
The funeral of late veteran actor Suminda Sirisena is scheduled to be conducted at the General Cemetery, Borala next Thursday. Remains lie at a private funeral parlour in Borala. He was 75 years old at the time of demise. Suminda Sirisena had contributed in acting to many films, teledramas and stage plays. He had also been felicitated many a times as the best actor and also with the awards of Kala Kirti and Kala Bhushana. Well, that's it on local stories. We'll be back with news overseas.
Welcome back. We're moving on to news overseas. Well, Israel says it has enriched Jabalia refugee camp, which was the largest in Gaza. The Israeli military says that the camp in the north of Gaza was being used as a Hamas base. Meanwhile, Israel continues its bombardment of the South Gaza Strip, including the city of Khan Yunis, which has been partially evacuated. An Israeli military officer says that so far more than 800 Hamas tunnels shafts have been located and also 500 of them have been destroyed. UNICEF says there are no safe zones anywhere in Gaza, while the World Health Organization warns the situation gets worse by the hour. The Hamas attack on the southern Israel on 7th October killed 1,200 people, with around 240 others taken hostage. Gaza Hamas-run health ministry says more than 15,800 people have been killed in Israeli retaliatory campaign, and also including about 6,000 children.
In the meantime, 13 climbers have died and another 10 are missing in Indonesia following the eruption of a highly active volcano in the province of West Sumatra. Located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Indonesia has 127 active volcanoes, more volcanoes than anywhere else in the world, and Mount Merapi is among the country's most active. The 2,891-meter-high volcano erupted on Sunday, spewing volcanic ash and sending giant plumes of smoke into the sky. Search and rescue efforts remain underway, with the bodies that have been recovered being brought down the mountain. 3 climbers have been found alive, and a total of 75 people, including the climbers, have so far been evacuated and those injured sent to hospital.
And welcome back, and we are moving on to sports news, and we have Thai boxing news. HKL Pushpakumar of the Sri Lanka Navy has been judged the best player in the senior division of the Thai boxing tournament, and the best female player was Divya Abesinghe of the Vancouvers Sports Club.
The Muay Thai Sports Club of Mavanala has won the highest number of medals in the tournament. The Sri Lanka Muay Thai Association has organised the event for the 4th occasion at the Sugathadasa Indoor Stadium in Colombo. The New York Strikers beat Delhi Bulls in an Abu Dhabi T10 tournament held at the Syed Stadium in Abu Dhabi. Batting first, the New York Strikers has scored 98 runs with a loss of 4 wickets at the end of 10 overs. Rahmanullah Gurbaz was not out at 49. The Delhi Bulls were able to score only 31 runs at the end of the 8 overs and 3 deliveries. Chamika Karunaratne has captured 3 wickets for 6 runs. In another match of the tournament, the Bangla Tigers has secured victory over Team Abu Dhabi, held at the Syed Stadium in Abu Dhabi. The Abu Dhabi team, at the end of the 10 overs, were all out for 66 runs. The Bangla Tigers has responded by collecting the 67 runs at the end of 4 overs and 5 deliveries. Jordan Cox was unbeaten with 56 runs.
Picked up, beautifully picked up. He's got another one, beautifully played.
Well, that's it on the news, and do enjoy the rest of the programs with Cherry. This is Clifford wishing you a good night.
Pleasant night.